So hey guys, super excited to see you here. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about a topic which is very interesting for me and I guess for you as well as you guys here. So it's first 100 days of successful leadership, especially when you are changing your role from engineering to leadership for a first time. Let's some words about me. So my name is Shushan and I'm working at Pixart as a QA team lead for about 1.5 years, and it was my first leadership experience. But I have also some experience in lecturing, and I'm working in quality engineering for about 8 years. So let's start. I guess it's very challenging when you are thinking about changing your position from seniority to leadership. I mean, it's kind of role change. And usually when you are changing from engineering, it's everything clean for you and clear because, I mean, you know that, okay, I'm working here as a senior engineer and the next company, I'm going to do the same thing. I mean, it's the same Jira, it's the same Selenium and stuff like that. But when you are changing to leadership position, it's kind of different because maybe you never did some people management and you never kind of deep dive into leadership. So it's kind of very challenging and very stressful. And I hope that this presentation will help you to have some tips in order to make it more easier for you. So what to do after accepting a leadership offer? I really think that when you are accepting a leadership offer, you have to start right before signing the contract. Because it's really clear that you have to show some winning results within short period of time. Usually it's your probation period. Like in Armenia, it's 3 months, and I believe in Russia as well, right? So within that 3 months, you have to kind of prove that you are the right one and like company is right to pay you a lot of money for that, right? So, it's the same kind when you are doing, for example, for test case planning, right? So when you are starting to do your testing, you are usually doing test planning, you are preparing some test data, right? In order to have more quality-oriented testing. And right before signing the contract, I was thinking in this way, okay, if I want to have my leadership experience as successful as I want, that it's the same as with testing. So I've started to create some draft plan of actions, what I'm going to do right before starting my position. So it was kind of not clear for me what I'm going to do and stuff like that. So I've started to communicate with my hiring manager who is here in order to understand like what they're expecting from me, what I should do and what is the success for them as well and for me as well. So, and I guess that if you guys can manage and meet with your team members, before starting your first day at company, it's very time-saving, as you can save, for example, 2 weeks. As you are going to spend before, like in your first day at work, you are going to meet your team members, like get to know them, and if you manage to have some informal meeting with them before starting your first job, like first day, I mean, you are in a very safe place. In my case, I was not able to meet with my team members beforehand, but I was able to meet with engineering managers, like product managers, and they kind of share what they expect from me. And I'm kind of changed my plan of actions and was kind of prepared for that. And of course, you have to read some relevant articles and books and drink some wine in order to be kind of relaxed, not, oh, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. No? Yeah, okay. So actions to be done before meeting the team. So if you didn't manage to meet with your team members, I mean, it's not the end. You can gather some information on team members. How you can do that? I mean, I have used the LinkedIn, I have used the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Google their names in order to understand what they are doing, what kind of experience they have. And especially, I was using like Facebook, Instagram in order to understand their like interest. And when I've joined the company, at first day, I know like names of my team members, and I know like what they are doing, how many experience they have. And kind of it was very easy to for me me to start conversation in kind of informal way in order not to have that barrier that, you know, I'm the team lead and they're like teammates who are going to report me. And also, if you can get some team history in background, it would be good. I mean, in my example, I was joining the company from another company. So I didn't know about the application, about the work like the company is doing, but at the same time, I should like know about the team, like members who is going to report me. So gather as much information about your team history and background as you can. And one thing also was clear, they are not finding within the company, and the Pixar is kind of big company, 500 or 700 already, I mean 700 plus employees, so why they didn't find someone from the company. So that was clear for me that maybe the team has some conflicts and I'm going to be the one who is going to solve that issues, right? So it's a kind of negative testing experience, right? So I've started to again talk with my hiring manager in order to understand what kind of conflicts the team has, and I was kind of right because there were a lot of conflicts, and I was able to also change my actions of plan beforehand. And you are joining the company, and I think that as a lead, you are not the one who should think about, like, at first days, like how many bugs the application has, like are they using Jira, are the APIs like built in a right way or not, they are using Postman or not. I mean, that's not the thing that you should think about. The first thing that you have to think, it's about your team and how you are going to build trust within your team members, because it's kind of clear that you cannot have success within the company as a lead if your team is not successful, if your team is not going to have success. So how you can have success with a team which you like don't know any members? Only by like building a trust between your team members. So you have to understand that trust is a two-way road. I mean, you cannot just trust someone and he or she will trust you. I mean, you have to work together and you have to be open as a lead for that trust building. I mean, and when you are working in order to create trust building within your team members, you have to understand that you cannot build trust because you have to, but because you want to. So you really should trust your every team member, and really you have to think that your team members are kind of heroes and the best within the company. So in order to build that trust, you need some tools. I mean, you have to understand leverage and motivation of every team member. I mean, you can understand that by organizing a lot of one-on-one meetings, and from my experience, it's the best when you can organize it, but by using some informal meetings, by using, drink some coffee, walk like in parks, in order to, again, not have that hierarchy situation that, you know, you are the one who is reporting me and I am the team lead. I mean, you have to kind of break that in order to build that trust. So when you are building your trust, you are ready kind of to establish teamwork. So within my team, it was clear for me in first day that my team like don't have normal teamwork. And it was kind of expected because they didn't have any team lead before, and they were working in a different agile teams, and everyone were doing like his or her stuff. I mean, and they never did some kind of theme things together. So that was one issue that I have kind of understand and try to understand how can I build the teamwork within team members. And again, first you have to build trust building and then think about it. And by building trust I mean, you can get to fully functional team and be ready to set goals for your teams. So a very interesting topic, and I guess the important one of this presentation is team goals. I mean, when everyone have some goals like lose some weight or, I don't know, learn anything, if you have clear goal, you are kind of know the direction and you are finding any tools in order to like reach your goal. The same with the team. If team and no one within the team knows what kind of goals they have, what kind of direction they have, you can never have successful team which is kind of reaching their goals if the team, like 5 people, for example, they don't know the exact direction. So as a lead, you are the one who should find the team goals, present them kinda, and find the direction of the team. But it's the tricky part that as a team, you are not the dictator one. I mean, you cannot go and say, you guys know from tomorrow you have this goal and you have to reach that goal. I mean, that will never work. And how you can find the team goal in any way. So again, you can have a lot of one-on-one meetings and understand what kind of issues the team has, what kind of conflicts they have, and what kind of concerns they have. In my examples, everyone independently within the one-on-one meetings was sharing that they have like bad test cases, that their test cases is bullshit, and I mean it sucks, and they hate regression testing, they hate refactoring, they hate like test case creation because the основа test case это не на русском, нет, типа everything was kind of not ready for them. So as everyone was sharing that within the one-on-one meetings, and no one kind of shared it in team meetings, I was kind of the one who is very indirectly just say that you guys, maybe we can refactor our test cases, and everyone was, oh yeah, that's cool, we want that, and they were kind of excited. And again, very indirect way, I have suggested that we can have a team goal, for example, refactor all our test cases and have kind of easy life. So everyone was super excited and happy because we have started to kind of create that goal and understand as a team how we can reach that goal. And this helped me to have team meetings together, that everyone was excited that we are going to have that team meeting. Everyone started to work overtime even in order to somehow contribute in our team goals and kind of have leverage of it. And it's very important if you can also have some junction of personal goals of your team members with their team goals, because it's kind of doubling the emotions of them, and they are going to work as hell in order to kind of reach that goal, because it's also very individual and also it's very team oriented. So within 3 months, we were able to reach our goal that my team was set up for themselves, and for sure they were very excited and motivated. But they are going to have motivation when they're reaching something, right? Before reaching the goal, you are the one who should kind of give motivation for the team. You have to work not only on your motivation, because, okay, you can have the motivation because you just joined the company, you have kind of that energy. But for your team, you have to understand how to motivate your team. And it's not like a cliche word that, okay, everyone is talking about motivation. No, it's really important. And only with motivation you can work with the team who is going to be very functional. So how you can have the motivation for your team and how you are going to understand the motivation. The first thing that I have learned from my experience is participation on daily work. It's not about micromanagement. I mean, you cannot participate in a daily work and at the same time micromanage people, because it's going to demotivate people. I mean, that's for sure. So in order to understand what your team is doing every day, in order to understand stress level, in order to understand what kind of issues they are having every day, and in order to understand, like, every day, for example, from my team, someone is coming to the work, what kind of things he or she is doing, you have to participate in a daily work. So I've started to run regression as they were doing. I've started to test ticket, write test cases, like participate in every agile ceremonies, although like from my role it was not really necessary. But I was like imagine that I'm just one senior engineer who is just have leadership role. I mean, I'm the same level, and it's always should be like that. So that helps me a lot to understand everything and to understand how I can keep my team motivated every day. At the same time, you have to understand the limits and borders and not motivate people too much, because it's going to demotivate them again, because like you have to find a good like board for that. And in order to keep yourself motivated and for yourself as well, it's really would be good if you will investigate some time and read about emotional intelligence. It's not just smart words who everyone is using, but it's really like important to invest in your emotional intelligence. And of course, you have to show some positive attitude. And if you have some issues within the company, like within the for application, like a lot of errors, I don't know, production issues, you cannot just be stressful and show some not positive attitude, because it's going to affect your team, and they are working in order to, for example, reach their goals. So you have to keep yourself really calm and positive as much as you can, as much as you want also. And for motivation, you can organize some team buildings or go to team buildings which your team is organizing. Like in Armenia, it's super fun and interesting, because in our culture, we are all kind of close together, and like you can build that informal relationship and some personal relationship with your team in a very short time. I mean, it also depends on culture where you are working, but in any case, it's going to help, I guess. And for sure, if you are the one lead who is working on team member career building and investing on every team member career building, your team is going to follow you in any case. And I mean, you have to care about their career. You have to invest as much knowledge as you have in your team in order to work on their career. I don't know, if you have a junior, you have to work and make like junior base, or like everything. You have to invest your knowledge on your team, like career building. And the conclusion of this presentation, I mean, in order to make your leadership experience as successful as you can, right before signing the contract, do planning about your actions that you are going to do as a leader of your team. Communicate a lot, as I've mentioned several times, with your hiring manager. Right before joining the company, start investing in trust building with your team members, and like don't save time for, I mean, it's ongoing process. I mean, you cannot build trust for 3 months and then say, okay, I've built everything. It's like ongoing process in your leadership career. Set up team goals in order to have motivated and together working team. And invest in motivation of your each team member. And I assure you that you are going to have fully functional team in 3 months, as I did. And I've received a lot of feedbacks, and yeah, it was kind of a very successful one. And thank you. Yeah. You can ask questions in Russian. I understand Russian, so.
Thank you for your presentation. It was really interesting. I have 2 questions about leadership in general, and actually it relates your presentation as much as well. So the first one is, you said about leadership, and you told us about many steps which you can follow and be the leader and just build yourself and your team. But some say that not everyone can be leader. Like the person should have some inborn qualities to be that. So the person can be a real good executor, professional, but not leader. So do you agree with that? And if you don't, tell why. And the second one is about motivation, your personal motivation. You said about motivations of your team, but you didn't say about your personal motivation and how, I'm gonna little narrow it.
Yeah.
How do you manage the stress or pressure or responsibility which put on you, and how do you handle it? Because not everyone can do that. For example, not me. So I'm really interested about that.
No, don't
Thank
say
you.
like that. I mean, first, yeah, I think that maybe not everyone, let me kind of change the phrase. I mean, not everyone, I guess everyone can do leadership, but maybe not everyone wants to. I mean, not everyone ready to do leadership stuff, because it's really, like, it's about people management. Like, I guess 70% is about people management. And I guess you have to have patience in order to do the leadership, and you have to like to work with people, because some engineers, they're too engineers. I mean, they're creating like architectures, they're doing a lot of stuff which, for example, I cannot do, because like they have another mindset, right? Very engineering mindset. So yeah, maybe, and I guess if someone wants to do something, they will figure it out if they really want. So I guess maybe not everyone likes leadership stuff, and yeah, you have to like it in order to do that. And related my motivation, I mean, I was super excited because it was my first leadership experience, and in my past experience, I had some mentorship as a senior engineer, and I figured out that I really like to share my knowledge and to work with people. And during my probation period, I also find out that I'm gaining some energy when I see that with my help, for example, someone is accomplishing something, and it's giving me a lot of energy and motivation. So yeah, and this past 1.5 years, I'm having that motivation from my team. So yeah.
Okay. Can I just, the third question, it was born just while you were answering. Don't you think that you might lose some your personal skills which you had before while you're leading, managing your team? And if you can, is it worth it to be a leader?
That was my fear when I was talking with my hiring manager during the interview, and from now on I'm always saying, like, Sarkis, maybe I'm going to lose my technical knowledge, but from my experience, I've started to find, have more technical experience when, I mean, you are going to help senior members of your team, you are going to work with your junior intern base engineers, and if you cannot figure out how to solve issue, how to, for example, automate all API endpoints, for example, for your application, I mean, you cannot help your team, right? So in any case, of course, you will work some overtime, as I did, but I mean, sometimes I was working overtime in order to understand how to help some senior engineer in order to solve issue, because in any case, you are the lead of the team, and if people, if you want that your teammates follow you, you have to be also a strong technical person, right? So you are always going to investigate in your technical knowledge just because you cannot in other ways. Like, people will not follow you. I mean, you are just going to invest not 8 hours, but maybe 10 hours daily in order to accomplish that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, another question.
I have a question, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, it was a very interesting speech. But
Thanks.
the question is, what you will do if you understand out of this 100 days of your starting leadership, you understand that you don't want to leadership in this company, you want to leave it or something, but how you will transfer your, how you will transfer this to another person's, or how you will tell about this to your team?
Actually, I don't have that experience, so maybe I cannot share. But for example, I have worked with my team for 6 months, and then I have left the team and joined another team within the company. So I have like that experience in my life. So I guess it's again depends what kind of motivation you have, and when you have motivation, I guess, or motive, you can explain everything. So I don't know, if you didn't like the company, you are free. I mean, you can go and contribute in another company. I mean, but you have, I guess it's good that you are going to be honest with yourself and with the company and not work somewhere that you like don't like. I mean, I don't know if I answered the question or not.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
We run out of time, and the flyer for the best questions.
But I guess I have 2, and let's give for 2 our members. Thanks a lot. Thanks.